Hello.
Hello, another Sunday.
Hi. Nice warm Sunday.
Yes, absolutely lovely. I'm going to be doing the garden, I think, tomorrow because I've got a few bits on, but I'm hoping to do some bits in the garden tomorrow. But yeah, it's been absolutely lovely today.
Yeah.
Nice Sunday evening.
It was nice yesterday, and it's been nice today, which is always good. Actually, I think I've shut it. I did have a window open at one point.
It's unusual because we've had so much rain lately.
I know. My only thing is you open up windows and doors and all the wildlife comes in, so...
Yeah.
You can't win, really, can you?
No, you can't win, mate. You can't win, no, not at all. How's it been anyway this week, all right?
Yeah, it's just been normal week, really, releasing videos and just being around and stuff, and nothing special.
I've been getting on. The Enterprise is looking good now. The saucer section is complete, which is brilliant. I've got to say, I'm loving the Nissan Skyline that Kirsty's doing. The engine looks really good. Fiddly, really fiddly, but yeah, really good. It's coming along nicely now. And also, I want to point out, because some people last week were saying that people that are subscribed, that are doing builds through Fan Home, like myself and Wayne, we get our own, and Gross Models, we get our builds before anybody else. Well, if you go onto the Batmobile 66 group, some people have already received their next pack 4. I haven't got pack 4 yet. So that sort of just says to you that there is no priority, especially it might be different for other people, but for me, I haven't got it. But I'm hoping pack 4 should be here at some point. But some people have already received them. But I just wanted to point that out because I know last week that people were mentioning that people that get it through Fan Home get priority, and no, I don't. So I just want to say also as well, I did receive this letter this week from Hachette regarding the Dalek build.
Mm-hmm.
And it just says, thank you for the limited 4-issue run, which I didn't even get. So I don't know what it was. By the way, it's 2 pieces. So it was this part. It's an invoice for 0, total amount 0, postage 0. It's strange, but it just said, thank you for supporting it. We're going to look at the interest and maybe launch it nationally in the future. The weirdest thing was I got this as a free gift, which is, as you know, Mark, the Lancaster pen. I know some people as well received a toolbox or a toolkit from, I think it was the Eddie Stobart build. And I think some people also received a Batman mug.
What has a Lancaster and a Batman got to do with a Dalek?
I don't know. I would have thought they had at least. I mean, when they done the test builds before, when they done like I remember doing the what was it? I think it was the Terminator. They sent out a Terminator keyring, and they did the same with the Batmobile. When they trialed the Batmobile, I was sent a little Batmobile keyring, a Batman symbol keyring.
Didn't some people get an Iron Man keyring or something with the Terminator? Or something?
Yeah. I think if you're signed up to the Dalek, at least make it Doctor Who-ish, like a TARDIS or something. I don't know.
Well, I could understand, say, maybe getting something Titanic related due to the Dalek, because they did have a Titanic in Doctor Who.
They did indeed.
I only know that from Dano's universe, and you know me about the Titanic. But
yeah,
come on.
Yeah, and I've got to say though, it's a very nice pen. It's very nice. It comes in its little box as well, which is nice. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting anything. But it's a nice when you get the little free gifts. It's always nice when it comes through. But I'm hoping that the Dalek goes into full release because I'm absolutely desperate to do that.
Only time will tell.
Yeah. What we discussing tonight, Mark? A lot because there's been a lot of complaining this week, hasn't there? Yeah. About price increases, delays, and the whatnot. And we want to just sort of discuss everything, because it's not just the one company. It's not just Fan Home that have delays and price increases, and we're going to discuss that in a minute. But yeah, I was also reached out this week as well. I think have you got it? Have you got the message there that I sent you so we can read it out? Because I've forgotten to bring it.
No, I can have it there in a second though.
Okay. About delays with about delays with Agora.
Okay.
As well. So we just want to discuss. Yeah, read it out because this one's about Agora. So lots of people have been complaining that there's been delays with Fan Home, and there has been, and price increases with Fan Home. There has been. But I think it's almost one-sided. But I wanted to see the other side of things because, as we're going to discuss, it doesn't just affect Fan Home. So I got a message this week on my on my Facebook page for the Nexus, and we're going to read it out. Go on, Mark.
Well, I won't read out the whole thing, but what I'll do is I'll sort of. So this is to do with the Agora DB5. And it's basically a topic I'd like you both to discuss is the lack of information concerning Agora and delays. Now, surely regular updates for world regions on their site would help keep us somewhat content and informed till the post eventually arrives. I really want to enjoy this so much, but currently it's not an enjoyable experience unless I was building a few models at a time or full kits. Then it's about the price a month for barely 2 hours build isn't much of a hobby. Last pack was 6 weeks ago.
And that's Agora models. So and we have also seen on some of the on some of the Facebook groups as well with them saying that they've encountered delays, and like we've seen just there, people have been waiting a couple of months for the next box. Now, I do know that they do a 12-month and a 24-month. Now, if you go for the 24-month, you get a box every 2 months, but 6 weeks is it's longer than that. I don't know the ins and outs, but I've been seeing more of it. And also as well, like they mentioned there seems to be a lack of communication about the delays from their side. Now I understand they're busy, we understand that. We know we had problems with your account and contacting them. We don't want to keep bashing them, but this discussion that we're going to do is to basically broadband everything, because I think a lot of the one-sidedness is directed at Fan Home because they've had a price increase recently on a lot of their builds. In fact, I would say all of their builds, except as we discussed before coming on air, were the Eaglemoss models.
Yeah, so
I'm
doing two that were Eaglemoss. So I've carried on with the DeLorean, which I've only had one. I've got one more pack to go, and that's it. I'm finished that up to the end of the Back to the Future 3 car. I haven't had a price hike on that. And the other one is the Enterprise D. Now I'm only on pack 8, but I'm not yet had a price increase on the Enterprise build either. And I am building the premium as well, Enterprise, so I am getting the display base at the end. Now the Optimus Prime, yes, I did get a price increase into that. That would have been about 4 or 5 maybe months into the build. There was a price increase.
Yeah, I think it was pack 6, and I think it was pack 6 as well for RoboCop. But I think the Knight Rider did have one, but I don't think it had one until a pack. It was quite like pack 17 or something like that. 17, 18. It was quite a while. So it's all the price increases seem to happen at the same time. I haven't had any. We haven't had one on the Nissan Skyline or the Batman 66, and I think
I don't think there's been one on the ET either.
No, but there has been one on the Millennium Falcon.
Right.
So I'm wondering if the price increases is down to the manufacturer.
I don't know, because some people are saying it was a lot down to taxes.
Yes, as well. Yeah, it's really difficult, the price increases, because I had this discussion recently with a friend of mine, and you know, I've got, you know, they're saying prices are going up everywhere, and it is, and it's, obviously we think that if it should be a set price, but prices have to be passed on. Prices have gone up in the pub, in supermarkets. Fuel has just gone up in price. Again, you know, petrol and that's just gone up again. Then we've had price increases on home insurance and stuff like that. So price increases happen all the time. But what we've also had, which is making the price increases worse, is the government have just brought in a new minimum wage cap. So we're paying more minimum wage. So that puts wages up, and then they have to then put prices up. And also cost of material has gone up as well. Things like plastic and metal and stuff like that. And I think the companies that we've been, I think they're actually on the borderline. And so when a price increase happens, they have to pass it on. Because I think a lot of these Partworks are sort of, obviously they're making profit, but I don't think it's a huge profit.
From reading the group, the last week or so, I think what a lot of people are not amused by, and that is they have increased how many stages you get per delivery.
Yes.
So it's gone from the normal, which was 4, it went to 5, and now it's gone up to 6.
Yeah.
Which people are saying, well, if you're sending more out in a package, why are we having to pay more for delivery? Because you are now, as a company, saving money, because you are not sending as many packages out as you would have done if you were sending 4 issues out.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are saying, well, you're saving money there, so why are we still having a price increase?
Yeah.
And that's what I've been seeing in the groups. And I think also is, okay, a lot of people said, right, we want more to build in when we get our deliveries. And people are now being charged a lot more for, I mean, it hasn't affected any of the ones I'm doing, but you've got like the Nissan Skyline, I think the E3 and the 66 Batmobile, where you'll be getting 6 issues per month, which now that ups your budget per month, because you have to pay for some extra issues. It's okay, if you can afford it, but if you're on a budget, then okay. And now they've put a price increase on. People are like, well, hang on a minute, that is way more than what I have budgeted for.
Yeah.
And I can understand it because I would be the same.
Yeah.
I would say, I'm looking at it now from my perspective, because I can't afford if these models go to 6 a month and a price increase. That's me out completely.
Yeah.
I can't afford that per month. No way in this world.
Yeah. Going back to the postage, it's worth noting that Royal Mail have increased their pricing on postage 3 times in the last 12 months, which is completely unusual. Normally, there's a price increase once a year on stamps and postage, but we've actually had 3 in the last 12 months. So I'm wondering whether that's also pushed the price up as well.
I mean, it's possible, but a lot. Then where are they being shipped from as well?
It's backed up sort of everywhere.
I think the problem is, and I look at it as, it depends where you are in the world, depends on if you get a price increase. I think it's down to taxes. Every country has their own different rules. The UK, we're now under our own rules because we've left the EU. So it's different in each country. To what, so in the UK, I haven't received any price increase on anything from Fan Home. Parchetta, we did have a price increase early on in the build for the Titanic. So, it's
Yeah, and I think we were just discussing it before, weren't we? Saying I think Agora, what they do is they calculate a price increase already. So you don't get a price increase, but what you do is you pay that price increase already, if you know what I mean.
I mean, I think in the terms and conditions, it does say in there that they have the right to increase the price as
They
the bill
do, yeah.
goes on. And I'm also going to say with Agora, they do have the Agora promise that you will finish the model. They won't leave you high and dry. So there is that as a backup as well.
Yeah.
Hachette, I know there's been delays on the Eddie Stobart. They're out of stock on a couple of issues.
Yeah.
So,
and we were discussing it as well on the Peter Rabbit stitchwork, and we know that they've had problems with stock on their web shop with the Disney Dollhouse. There's a lot of issues out of stock. I think some of them are coming back into stock now. But yeah, we, like I said, originally I wanted to say, like you said, Hachette are having a bit of a problem with Eddie Stobart and the cross stitch, the Peter Rabbit cross stitch. It may affect the other builds as well. We just have to sit tight, because one thing with Fan Home is that they give you, I would say, too much information. So it's really good because they keep you in the loop. But what Hachette does, and what Agora does, is they don't tell you stuff like that. They don't go, oh, there's a delay, there's a 2-month delay, or there's a week delay. Oh, we're expecting stock of issues 26 in next week. They don't tell you any of that. So you're left sort of just hoping. What I do find, though, with a lot of these builds is when they do announce the price increase, and it includes Fan Home as well, is that they tell you like a week before or a month before, which I think that if you're going to increase it, at least give 2 or 3 months notice at least.
I think with the Optimus Prime, we were actually given a pack notice. So they said, I think we were on pack 4 or something, and they said from pack 6 onwards, the cost will be this much amount. So we got charged the original amount for pack 5, and then from pack 6, we got the price increase.
That sort of thing is better. I think when they say we're going to price increase it from the next one, especially if you get like we have done, where there's been a delay with the pack, and then what happens is they then charge you for the next pack 2 weeks after the first one. So if there's a price increase from that pack, and then 2 weeks the price comes out for that pack that's been increased, that could be a bit of a problem as well. But what I want to say is with Hachette is that they tell you the price increase, or they tell you there's a problem literally the week before. So I collect from the newsagents, and when I've had problems before where they've run out of issues, or the next issue is going to be late, or there's been a price increase, they tell you from the previous issue. So it's like the following week, and it's like that's really short notice. I just wanted to say, because there's a lot of negativity around the groups at the moment, but I wanted to say that there's a broader problem with information and delays, and in fact affecting all the builds. And I think what happens is with Fan Home, because it's mainly Fan Home, is that most people, and I guarantee this, most people watching this right now, they're building at least 1 or 2 Fan Home models, but only half of us are probably building Hachette or Agora models. But I can guarantee everyone on the stream tonight is building a Fan Home model. So there's more of us. They're doing more builds. So obviously the voices are louder for Fan Home than they are for the other ones, because more people are doing them, if you know what I mean.
I think and I said this before the live stream, Kev, I said this to you. I said, what happened with Eagle Moss?
Yes.
A lot of people. It affected thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of customers. People got severely burnt with Eagle Moss, and their business practices weren't the best, to say the least. And I think when things start to happen that are extremely similar to that, people then start to think, is this going the way that happened? And they start to worry. And they start to think, you know, and I got burnt by Eagle Moss. Luckily, I managed to finish 2 of the 3 models that I did with them. But I think that had a bigger impact than what a lot of people had. And
yeah, I think most people. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Still, how many years later, it's still going on? What is it? 2, nearly 3 years later,
Evil Moss is still.
It's still going on, and I don't think that will end for quite some time. I can't see that easing for a while.
Yeah,
and that's why I think a lot of trust is you. The thing about it is with these builds is it's not a simple subscription. It is a commitment to 2.5 to 3 years building a model, and you put a lot of money into them. These Partworks are not cheap. They are, you put a lot of money into them.
Yeah.
You put a lot of time into it and effort into them as well. And it's a journey along the way. I won't deny that. It's when you look back at what you look like at the Terminator. Wow, we were in lockdown when we were building that.
Yeah.
I remember doing that in lockdown, and
the memories that come with the build as well. It's not just you're not just building it, you're remembering. It's a point in time where you remember, oh yeah, I remember doing that. And
but I think a lot of people, what gets the backup is they are stuck in a hard place when you get a price increase. So if you're say £300-400 into a model, and then the price increase then hits, you're stuck in a hard place. But do you go, okay, I'll carry it on, but I can't really afford it? Or do I cut my losses, but I'm cutting off nearly £200-300 loss on what I've already built?
Yeah.
And I had to brunt that because I started doing the wooden Titanic with Eagle Moss. And when that came to an end, I'd spent quite a bit of money on all the bits and pieces for that build, and I had to write that off.
Yeah, no, still to this day, no one has brought that forward, have they? It's one of those. There's a few builds that I think Eagle Moss did, and I think that's the only one that no one's sort of continued.
Yeah. So it's a culmination of a lot of things.
Yeah.
That are going through people's minds with this.
Yeah.
And you can't change the past of what's happened, but again, I think it's down to communicate with your customers of what's going on. Give us definitive answers, not just sort of dance around it, if you know what I mean.
I also think, remember as well, I mean, I've worked in customer service before, and you're at I would say the lower end. So if you're given, and I work in management at the moment, so I'm given information, but it's further down, and sort of, you're just like the information guy. So the information comes down the ladder, and I think all they do at the customer service end is just give out that information, and then they're like, well, that's not good enough. And they're like, well, basically that's the information I've got from up there. If you want to know what's going on, contact the higher ups. Don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a rock and a hard place, because they can only give us the information, one that they're allowed to, and one that they're provided. So it's very well saying someone at customer service don't know what they're talking about, or don't know what they're doing. And it's like, well, they're only, if you've worked in customer service, you will know that they're only giving the information that they've been given.
Yeah.
They don't really know what's going on sometimes. They're just drip fed the information that they're told to. So maybe they don't know. I mean, it was the same at Eagle Moss. You got to think there were massive problems at Eagle Moss, and none of the staff knew what was going on until it was too late, if you know what I mean. So, but yeah, sometimes I feel that there's too much information, and other times I think there's not enough information.
Yeah.
And I think it's finding that balance between having too much and not enough. And I think when there's a price increase or there's delays, it upsets anyone. I don't think you can keep anyone happy. If you've ever worked in customer service, you can't keep everyone happy. You just can't.
No, I know that. I just
think
more clarity on what's going on would help.
Yeah. But sometimes that clarity can also cause bigger problems.
The thing about it is one person hears one story from one person hears one story from who. What is the correct story? What is actually going on?
Yeah.
And sometimes it just needs somebody to say, right, this is exactly what is happening. So, yeah, it could.
Yeah, it's the problem, I think, when you have a call center and then you have an email as well, because it happened with a Hachette. So I remember a lot of people were asking about the Dalek. Now, when they rang up, they were told it was a full run, as you always are. But when you email them, they were like, no, it's not a full run, it's a test run. And it was the same actually with the Disney Dollhouse. So lots of people were ringing up and they were like, is it going to have the extension? And people on the phone were saying no. Yet people, when they were emailing people, they were saying, yeah, there is an extension. And then they had, and then I think on your portal, on the Hachette portal for the Doll's House, on the last pack it sent out, it actually generated another pack. It said your next pack will be delivered on such. And it's like, hang on a minute, so what's going on?
Yeah.
And that was Hachette. So it was like no one knew what was going on until actually we had the letter in the last pack. So like you were saying, it just needs to be a bit more clarity, a bit more openness from these companies, but not too much, because I think sometimes, like I said, there can be too much information and that then upsets more people.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's not great what's happening in an ideal world. We'd all get what we want for the price we ask for it. And yeah, that would be an ideal world. It all will run smoothly. Smoothly, you know. And I've screamed down the phone at companies before saying, where the heck is what? And you know.
Yeah, and saying in price increases, like I said, it doesn't just affect the models. There's, like I said just a minute ago, there's been 3 price increases on postage at Royal Mail in the last 12 months. It's never had that many before, ever. So, you know what I mean? That all then tallies up down the thing. And then you've had the wages go up, which then has to be passed on. The companies can't absorb that, so then they have to pass it on. So that's why we're paying high prices for food, fuel, and basically everything. And the models are no different. I think there's been a price increase actually on some of the Airfix models as well. I think someone was saying that they were a lot cheaper last year. Well, obviously, because there's a price increase, but someone was saying that actually there's been quite a big price increase. So, in fact, it's not just, I know there has been on Warhammer. So, if you collect Warhammer models, there's been a huge increase on that in the last 12 months. Huge. So, it's not just fan hire, it's not just these partwork companies, it's everything. And in terms of getting parts, because I know some people saying that you know, it can't be the shipping and stuff like that. I used to be a car mechanic many years ago. I'm still friends with a lot of mechanics now. And if you're in the mechanic business, you will know that certain parts for cars are absolutely impossible to get at the moment because of shipping. So it doesn't just affect us; it affects other things as well. So it's easy to look at it as a small unit, but actually, when you stretch it out, you can actually see there's other factors here with other companies and other things that also have a price increase and delays. So, yeah.
Okay,
it's all a bit of a mess at the moment. It's all a bit of a mess. We can just, if we can get past the mess and enjoy what we've got, and I've got to say, I don't know about you, Mark, the quality of the builds are outstanding. The best I've ever seen.
I'm not disputing that at all. It's amazing. It's just
the builds themselves are perfect.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
It's just a little bit frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I'll go through some of this chat and see what they're all saying.
Yeah.
So, first of all, we've got D Harris in saying a very good evening, Mark and Kev. So hi D.
Hi D.
We've got Steve131 in saying evening all, evening Steve.
Hi Steve.
We've got Spider Sprue in saying hi Kev on your channel.
Hi Spider Sprue. There you are, Mark's as well.
Hi Mark.
Jumping between three.
Hi. Burgess is in saying evening all, evening Burgess.
Hi Burgess.
And then we've got Dave Mark Builds in saying good evening, Mark and Kev. Have a great stream tonight. So thank you, Dave Mark. Evening to you. And then we've got Jay's channel saying good evening all. Hope everyone is okay.
Hope you're doing well, Jay.
Hi Jason. Hope
Hi
you're
Jason.
okay.
Yeah.
And then we've got Ian's World of Models who says evening everyone. Evening Ian, welcome.
Ian.
And then Burgess says being a bit wet here.
Oh. Well, don't send it down here. Don't send it down here. Send it away. We like the sun at the moment.
Yeah. D Harris says yes, a nice warm day, and I'm in the shed insulating. Typical. Well, this should be warm.
Oh no.
Altering.
I used to do. I've done lots of jobs. I'm an odd job bloke, me. So years ago, when I was 17, I used to do loft installation. I only done it for. It was a contract that I had with a company, and we done loft installation for a council in Boreham Wood. And I tell you what, I wouldn't want to do it. I don't do it in the summer. We did it in the summer. Oh, it was awful. Do not do loft installation in the summer. It's awful stuff.
I used to work as a chef in takeaways and kitchens, and in summer it was an absolute nightmare.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you want a summer job, become a postman. You get a lovely tan. You're out in the sun all day. Great job.
Yeah, apart from your adverse wearing of shorts and trousers.
I wore them in some. I've got to put my hands up. I was one of the ones that used to wear it in the winter.
Actually, no. We actually asked a postman once why he wears shorts in the winter and trousers in the summer, and he simply turned around and says, "Well, in the winter, your trousers don't get wet if you wear shorts, and in the summer, your trousers make you so your legs don't get burnt."
Well, I used to wear shorts all year round, and loads of people used to ask, was there a kitty going around the office to see who could last the longest? But actually, once you start walking in shorts, you forget the cold. You really do.
We've got Howard in who says, hi Mark and Kev, just received another price hike from Fan Home on a build. I'm starting to get a little worried about Eagle Moss happening again. Missing parts, skipped, and shipping and price hikes.
Yeah, well, we just all mentioned all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's still very raw. The Eagle, I don't call them Eagle Moss. I call them Evil Moss. Evil Moss are still very much present, even though they're not a company. I think people are still very worried about what happened there happening again.
Yeah. We've got Mad Dad Hobbies in who says evening all. Evening, Mad Dad Hobbies. Welcome.
Hi, Mad Dad.
And we've got Ian
Campbell
who says evening, host and all. Evening, Ian. Welcome.
Hi, Ian.
He was at what do you call it yesterday?
Is it Model World or something like that?
Yeah, I was seeing the picture.
I can't remember. I need to go to that. But yeah, I'm loving the watch stand, Ian. Loving that.
Howard says, yep, already saw a video of Pack 4 Batmobile out being put together.
Yeah, I've not received Pack 4.
No,
I can tell you where. I know it's been posted out. I just haven't received it.
Howard says it's a free gift. What do you expect? They're cleaning up the closet.
Yeah. They've just got a bin full of these, and they just grab one and stick it in a box.
Yeah. Steve131 says I got a digital clock from Harshett Tiger Tank. Wow.
Oh no, there has been some nice, decent ones. I remember getting some coasters, 3D Star Wars coasters in one.
Yeah.
It's always weird the stuff you get from doing these test builds.
Burgess says my Ecto 1 and R34 second wave are delayed.
Yes, yeah, I think they were due to be May, and now it's June. So yeah.
Ian Campbell says, Mark, did you get the replacement I sent you for the nameplate? No, I haven't received anything, Ian, yet. I've been looking out for it and not a thing came. Did we get post? Yes, we got post yesterday, but nothing came. So yeah, I'll look out for it tomorrow. We've got Richard Coppleston in saying fan home been waiting for Ecto 1 part 65, 66 for 6 months, gave up building it, as always the same excuse.
Yeah, I know parts are not easy to, like, I don't, you have to do it in batches. We've discussed it before. It takes a while. 6 months is too long, I think, but you know, yeah.
Howard says, when I talked to a lady at Fan Home, D'Agostini, she told me flat out, my Shelby, that at pack 7, the price goes up. I'm on pack 2, so I already that if I see in pack 6 a little sheet saying it's cut right. Okay. I call it, yeah. I can't say it. If not, we'll get into trouble, but yeah. Oh, sorry, that was this. There we go. Sorry, I've got it back up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What can you do?
Yeah.
We've got Daz Fortman who says, how do everyone? Hope everyone is well. Evening, Daz. Welcome.
Hi, Daz.
And then Howard says, I'm an accelerator pack of 10 per on my 4GT. It's still 161.95 per pack. Wow.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
I know one, I think in America, in the US, I think the Nissan Skyline is over $100 a month because of how many issues you get and everything else. So
yeah,
I did say very recently, didn't I, Mark? I did say that with the pricing going up, it's going to price a lot of people out of the hobby.
Yeah,
and it's going to become a very sort of, you know, they're just going to price people up. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got Scott Allen in who says, good evening, Mark and Kev. Enjoying your stream here in Fife, Scotland. So welcome, Scott.
Welcome, Scott.
Thank you for your message.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Stuart Gibson in saying, seen a lot of people cancelling subscriptions due to the price hikes.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of talk about it.
One thing I'm going to say with the price hikes is, obviously I'm seeing it on the Facebook groups and everything, is please put in where you are from, just which part of the world you are. So if you're in USA, Germany, France, wherever, so we know if it's going on in that, which country it's going on in.
Yeah.
Because I find it, unless I know the person and where they're from, it's pretty hard to try and sometimes work out where people are. This is happening.
Yes.
And then if we know where it's happening, then we can say, yes, there is a price hike in that part of the world.
It's the same with the delays as well, because I think some of the delays are different on a lot of the builds, actually. Because we're not experiencing many delays, but I know some of the places are. Yeah. Some other places in the world are.
You know, just put where you're from, and then we know where this is happening, and then we, you know, if we can help out because we know information about that part, then people can say, yeah, I'm in that territory. I found out this, you know, and sort of say that would make it a lot better. So comment away, but just put where you are experiencing.
Where you are from, yeah.
UK, USA, Germany, France, Japan. If you're in Japan, you know, anywhere, just put down, and then at least people know as well that you're from that location. If they're in that location as well, they know what to expect, you know, if they haven't heard about it.
Yeah.
So, Dad's Faulkner says, I work for Royal Mail.
Yeah.
Howard says, I'm pushing well up to 1,000 a month if all my bills are active from D'Agostini. If I put Agora in, I'll be over 2K. Yes, I want my parts, but I'm waiting. I'm willing to wait if they're at least trying. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot of that. But
Ian says Partwork upgrades have absorbed raw mail increases.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I can say. Yeah.
You can do that. Yeah.
Howard says, I just wish they would be more open, not try to hide behind the curtain like OZ.
Oz.
Right. Okay. And then it also says, my Warhammer, they've charged me for 3 packs now and haven't shipped.
That would be Hachette.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so it's not just, I just want to point out, it's not just Fan Home. And I know the beating stick is out at the moment, but it is other companies as well. They're all sort of having problems. So,
and it just like I said, depends where you are.
Yeah. It's all depends on where you are in the world and everything. Yeah.
Also, he says, I think a lot want it quicker now than drawn out. It's a time waiting.
Yeah, I think like we were talking about with Evil Moss. I would say Evil Moss is. I think we're very hesitant now, aren't we? We're worried that the Partwork will be cancelled halfway through and we won't be able to finish it. And I think that's still very much there, even though we've gone past that now.
Yeah,
still there, isn't it? It's still a worry.
Spanish Bruce says, I have 3 Fan Home still coming. 2 Fan Home that I have all stages but not finished, and 2 Hachette. So, yeah. I mean, next month I'll finish DeLorean, and then the month after that I will finish the camper, and I don't have any plans because I can't really afford to do any more. Not prices now. I'd love to sign up for the Nissan Skyline. It's just not going to happen. I just can't afford that amount per month, even with a couple of them finishing. It's just
it's the same. It's the same with the 66 as well. In the Batmobile 66, that's the same sort of price as well. So,
I mean, it would be nice if you got to choose what you got per month, whether you wanted 4, 5, or 6. But I know logistically that can be a nightmare.
Yeah.
But you do get that option with Agora. You can go for a 12-month, or you can go for the 24-month.
Yeah.
And that is a good option for people who are on a budget who can't afford a 12-month plan.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would be nice to have the option whether you want it faster or you want it slower. For me, I have to go slower because of limited budget. Yeah,
I think there was a lot of there was a lot of this over COVID, wasn't it? That a lot of people wanted more parts to build, and everyone kept saying they wanted more. These companies listened. Now we're getting more. A lot of people are now going, hang on, that's too much.
Well, I never said that. I never said I wanted more. I just wanted regular deliveries.
I just wanted to pick them up in the newsagents. I don't know what happened there. It was fine working in the newsagents. Yeah. I would have loved it. Going to the newsagents every week is much more affordable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
Howard says, Mark, I have a half build from Model Space, Falcon, Ford GT, R2, the DC3. I was lucky. I did get Charger done through them before Fan Home brought it back out. So, yeah, that was when Model Space went under.
Yeah, on Model Space. Yeah.
Well, they didn't go under. They just shut. And Diagostini said no more Model Space.
They just rebranded it, didn't they? Is it called Model? Is it called Partwork? Is it called the Agostini Collections now?
For some reason, I don't get that. And the reason why I don't get that is when Model Space just stopped sending people parts, it was kind of brushed under the carpet. But when it happened with Eagle Moss, everyone
went mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of feel for the people that it actually happened to, like Howard. I know Ian had problems. I know Burgess did. I kind of feel sorry for them. Yeah.
Well, the Wayne, he had problems as well, didn't he? With the Victory, weren't it?
That happened, and not many people said much at the time, and it was brushed under the carpet. But it happening with Eagle Moss, it went berserk.
I know. Yeah, I don't know why. And then they and remember that Model Space didn't really go anywhere. It's still the Agostini collections. It's still there.
They didn't go under, did they? They didn't go bankrupt.
No. Well, I don't even think they went bankrupt. I think they just closed it because you had Fan Home, the Agostini, and Model Space. They're all the same company. And then what they did, they just closed that part down. They didn't go bankrupt. I think they got rid of people because I believe the guys over at Agora are the guys that were part of Model Space.
So
I think they just absorbed it. And just like I said, the company's not gone anywhere. It's still the Agostini Model Space. And the Model Space forums are still up.
But that was brushed under the carpet, but the Eagle Moss thing went crazy.
Yeah.
It's just,
bizarre.
Yeah. Scott Allen says it's not a case of wanting it quicker. Just keep customers updated when they're not delivered each month. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be Agora.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no. I mean, we said this a couple of streams ago, didn't we? When you were having problems with the portal, and you were having trouble contacting them and getting a response back.
Yeah.
And they are very good, but they could be more, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Same with Hachette, there could be more. And like I said, with Fan Home, I think sometimes there's a little bit too much information. And that causes them, I think, more problems by giving out too much. But
I know there's been delays. I know there's been delays on the edit, but at least people got an email to say there was a delay on the edit.
Yes.
Okay, yes, they didn't state in that email what
how long
was.
How long.
Or how long. They just said there is a delay. So, yeah. Howard says, who knows, maybe shipped from China, lost the cargo containers. We'll find them on a beach somewhere.
Yeah. I read a post a couple of weeks ago, actually. They reckon like at least 10 containers fall into the sea every day with thousands of pounds worth of stuff on. So
what gets me
is think about
coming from Japan and China, say the doll's house. Are there pirates out there that are literally building a doll's house? Because what they could do with
I don't know.
Whatever copies of issue, goodness knows what.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that?
No idea.
Ian says, yep, Kev, booster pipe for an Insignia took 5 months. So that's the getting parts for cars.
Yep, see?
Yeah.
At least, like I was saying, it's not just, Partworks that are having huge delays. I know the car industry at the moment, especially with car parts, massive delays at the moment.
Howard says, right, you have to bear with me now because I've got to read them because I haven't pre-marked them. Food, clothing, parts, goods in general. I understand that in the farming industry. Yeah. And then he just says, sorry for my rant. Don't be sorry for a rant.
No, we've done it. We've just ranted, so no.
Yeah, this is the kind of show just to get you how you feel out about it, you know?
Yeah, and it's also as well, because we're discussing it and having a rant, we're also finding out that, we're trying to understand as well. So, one of the things that I always say, it's from Star Trek, and I use a lot of Star Trek quotes, is that knowledge is power. Yeah? The thing we fear most is not knowing. And that proves it. Because we don't know what's going on, because we don't know how the chain of events happens to get where we've got to get it, we get anxious about it. We need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian's World of Model says, 100% agree, Kev. I'm in the motor trade and car part supply is a real issue with some parts at the moment. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a car, so I'm all right. I used to be a driving instructor, but I don't have a car anymore. I have to bus it. Ian says they need to get their Amazon to store and issue the Partworks. Yeah.
I don't think it's just that. I I just think it's globally, it's a bit of a mess at the moment.
Yeah. Ian says it was the Makers Central show.
Yeah.
That was there.
Makes
And
sense.
then Ian
Yeah,
said,
anything.
just had my last pack of LaFerrari. That's 119 a month to spend on something else. I've not told Julie as she's be buying shoes. LOL.
Well, she knows now.
Yeah. And then Howard says, had 4 different build posters out the same day. I got 3 of them. The other is still hung up in transit. Wow.
Yeah. Once again, if that is Fan Home, once again they have 2 distribution centres. There's one in, is it France or Germany, and then they have one in the UK. So it depends on. I think Optimus Prime comes from one of their places in Germany. And I think Optimus Prime actually gets shipped from the UK. I mean, RoboCop gets shipped from the UK. So it depends on what build you're getting, where it gets shipped.
Yeah.
Because I've also had that as well, where I've had like notifications where 3 or 4 of my builds have left the warehouse at the same time. But once again, they've not all turned up at the same time. All depends on where they're coming from.
Howard says it's mail carriers and weather in the USA too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Burgess says, I got 2 active Fan Home subs and 1 starting soonish, I hope.
DTR.
And then Burgess says, I've got 1 issue of the Eleanor left plus the lift.
Yeah, the lift. Yeah. Are you doing that one? I know a lot of people didn't really go for that. It was a bit like the damaged parts for the Iron Man. I think a lot of people thought they built the car, they don't need the other bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howard says, I heard Fan Home was thinking about doing that with how many you can get. So choosing how many.
Yeah. There was something else that I noticed from Fan Home, actually. Do you remember when they said they were going to offer full builds? And they did it. They did it on the Iron Man. It's all gone quiet now. So I don't know if that went very well at all.
Yeah. At the moment, I probably couldn't think of Fan Home doing full builds because of the stock problems they have currently,
and the price. I think it's a lot of money to fork out straight away.
I just can't, with the stock issues they've got at the moment that they're having to resolve. I can't see for at least over a year until full builds would come on their website, until things are actually settled down and they've got it all sorted. So yeah. Stuart Gibson said, does anybody know how the premium RoboCop base is powered? And if it's battery, which it probably will be, does anybody have any plans to make a power mod? Looking at Ian at Partwork upgrades, well, that's where I would say go.
Right, yeah, it is. I do know about this. It is powered with batteries. I think it's the cell batteries, I think. Oh, no, it's not. No, my mistake. It's powered by AAAs. I think it's 4.6 or something like that. I think there's 246. Yeah, I think they're in like 2s, but there's 3 of them. But yeah, the base is powered by batteries. I think you can. There's a power mod there for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Burgess says the model space thing still hurts. So yeah, I just feel sorry because that was brushed under the carpet.
With Eagle Moss, they sort of, like you were saying, it sort of people went nuts about it, but no one did that with model space.
It was kind of a thing of, well, you're not getting parts. That's it. Deal with it.
And everyone just, the problem is everyone sort of accepted it as well. Everyone went, oh, okay. But when that happened with Eagle Moss, oh my God, it went nuts. Like you were saying, people were going lawsuits, they were going nuts. Yeah.
Burgess says, when I got a reply from De Agostini, it was like, we got no parts to send you. Yeah. Yeah. I think this year, I think by the end of the year, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that everything sorts out. Because I think they had too many. It looked like they took on too much, because we've been talking about this before, where it looks like they've taken on too much, and then they've sort of had a big clear out. And there's only a couple now active on their sites, where before there was like 6 or 7. There's only like 2 or 3. So I think now they're starting to calm down a bit.
You've also got to think that they took on the Eagle Moss builds as well. So that created other problems, I think, as well. Space in the warehouse, everything else.
I think you've got to understand also, when we were on about how many stages you get per month, is with the Eagle Moss build, apart from the DeLorean, the rest of them you would only ever get 4 per month, because the magazine instructions are all just in one magazine.
Yes.
So I'm never going to get more than 4 enterprises per month, because the build instructions was in one magazine. The same, the Ecto one was the same. The Enterprise, I think the Eleanor was the same as well. The only one which I get 5 on is the DeLorean, because they were single magazines. That's
because they were originally brought out in the newsagents.
Yeah.
But the other ones weren't.
Yeah. I'm just reading this one out because it just answers a viewer's question. It says, Stuart, we have a power mod for it, but it's probably out of stock, so you'll check.
Okay. Yeah.
We've got Helder in saying, hi, everyone. Hi, Helder. Welcome.
Hi, Helder. Bit late, but yeah, you're here. It's great to have you here.
Okay. I'm just reading this now. Right, I'm nearly to the end, actually, so we've done quite
well. Brilliant, because look at that timing.
Yeah. How it says, mine all come out of the middle of the USA, and they're all fan home, but shipped in D'Agostini boxes. I think it could also be getting the cardboard boxes. That was also affecting during COVID with paper products.
Yes. Yeah.
Howard says, well, with the Diag merged model space, I was miffed why they didn't honour those people before taking on Eagle Moss Mess. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the part they said like I said, model space didn't really go anywhere. It just sort of, they just rebranded it. That's all they did.
But they still left customers high and dry.
Yeah, especially with things like the Meg, the Victory. There was loads. There was quite a lot that they just left high and dry.
In fact, I think one thing that probably would have hurt people is, and this did happen to Wayne, is he was doing the Victory.
Yes.
And I remember him contacting them about it. They said there was no more packs, they're out of stock and they're not doing anymore.
Yeah.
And he couldn't continue the build. Then they rebranded for D'Agostini and they brought back out the Victory.
Yes.
How can that be?
Yeah, and it's the same company, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I remember D'Agostini is also fan home as well. It's just another arm of it. So, yeah.
Burgess says, will I get to finish my 911 ever?
Yeah, you will. Yeah, of course you will.
Helder says, very late, a bit busy tonight. And D says, a good night, Mark and Kevin, until next week. Stay well, both. Thank you,
Night, D.
And then Ian says, left me hanging high and dry on my MiG, £450 invest. Yeah.
And they've never released that again. That's a strange one because they've never brought that back out. It's a
Russian warplane in the state of the world we're in now. I don't think they would.
There we go. Yeah. They probably won't touch that. Don't touch that. Don't mention.
Remember, Model Space did the T-72 tank? That hasn't reappeared.
No.
So,
are we? Is that it? Are we near the end now?
Yeah, I'm just going to finish this chat and then we'll end it. So, Mad Dad Hobby says, night all.
Night, Mad Dad.
Howard says, I did finish the MiG, but with the Falcon R2 and the GT, I had to restart my sub. They wouldn't continue sending me what I needed. Yeah. Dave Matt says, been a great stream tonight, guys. Thank you, Dave.
Cheers, Dave.
Helder says, good night, Mark and Kevin, everyone. Night, Helder.
Bye, Helder.
And Ian says, great stream, night all.
Cheers, Ian.
Ian's Welder Model says, great
Ian
stream,
well.
night. See you the next week. Okay, so we'll end it there.
Yep.
Kev, have you got out coming up this week?
Enterprise and Nissan. And we've also got the Batmobile and some other bits. So there's stuff.
Regular week for me, guys. For my videos as normal. Apart from Optimus Prime will be out tomorrow because I released the Titanic on Saturday because it was the engine room going in. So for me, that'll be out as a difference this week. But everything else is on normal schedule. And apart from that, I'm going to say it before everybody goes. I just want to wish Julie happy anniversary for tomorrow because we've been together, been married 20 years tomorrow.
Oh, congratulations! Yeah, you haven't forgotten because you've just mentioned
that was my anniversary.
Ours is in November, 2nd of November. I always remember. We've been married. We would have been married 18 years in November. It's a long time.
20 years tomorrow. So yeah.
So yeah, I hope you have a nice day.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Just before I end, I'll just catch up on this last bit of chat. If I can catch I've lost where I am now. Great. Helen says great night, Matt. Yeah, I've done that one. Ian says great stream night.
I've read that one.
Yeah, I've done that one. Says, night all.
Night all. First through. Night.
Scott Allen says good night, everyone. Great stream as always.
Night, Scott.
Says, nice one, both. Congrats. Thank you. Dave Matt says congrats, Matt. Thank you, Dave Mac. And Mad Dad Hobby says congrats. Right, so we're going to end it there, guys. We'll be back next week, same time, days, as you know. And hope you all have a good week. I've been Mark.
And I've been Kev. See you later, guys.
Next week. Bye.